We'll call the Public Safety and Justice Affair Committee to order at 1:12 p.m. Janine, could you call the roll, please?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Kelly,
Here.
Ms. Conwell, Ms. Turner,
Present.
Ms. Simon. Mr. Gallagher is absent. There is a quorum. Also like the record to reflect that Councilman Schlepper is in attendance.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
Okay, in front of you, there is the minutes from the last meeting. If they're in order, I would ask for a motion to accept.
So, second.
It's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. What is the matter referred to committee today?
Resolution number 2025-0322, making an award on requisition number 13840 to Executive Information Services in the amount not to exceed $3,999,756.96 for replacement of the jail management system located at the Cuyahoga County Correction Center.
Good afternoon, Chris Costin, Sheriff Department. This here is a contract for our new jail management system that will be located in the Correction Center. This contract is a term of 3 years with another 2-year option to extend. Total contract price is $3,999,756.96 over the 5-year term. I do have Sharon here. She'll get into the technical aspects of this management system.
Sharon?
Thank you. Sharon
Welcome.
Faenza, Manager of Technical Services for the Department of IT. And we do have a presentation. Thank you.
How do you pronounce your last name again?
Faenza. All right, we'll start with just very simply, just to level set, what is the jail management system? It is a system that we do use to manage our inmate life cycle, including our bookings and releases. It also manages our warrants life cycle, as well as the records associated with the residents of the correctional facility. Our current solution integrates our jail and warrants management into a single unified solution, and it does serve as a core hub for the courts, our medical, our law enforcement, for everything surrounding the justice services for the residents of the facility. Why we need to replace the current system is that our current system, which is called IMAX, is obsolete. It runs on unsupported technology because of the age. It is over 20 years old at this point, far exceeding its useful life. As a result, it is non-compliant with our modern security standards, as well as it is non-compliant with CJIS. Also, because of its age, it has weak reporting, and it has very little in terms of analytics, which is very common in terms of what we're requested to provide in today's environment. Additionally, again, because of the age, it does not provide a modern warrants management experience for our law enforcement and courts. And as a result of all of these, there is a very high risk of exposure for both custody and law enforcement associated with our current solution. In terms of how we came to, excuse me, in terms of how we came to select our vendor, we did issue a competitive RFP for this solution. We started by issuing an RFI so that we could evaluate. Again, it's a very old solution. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. We started with an RFI so we could evaluate the vendor environment and get some additional information that we could use to develop a comprehensive RFP. As a result, we were able to develop a very strong set of requirements that included our workflow management, our inmate management, warrant tracking, and integration with leads, reporting, as well as strong integrations with the courts, our Epic and Metro Health system, LiveScan, APHIS, and so on. We also ensured that there was a modern security framework and advanced logging and audit capabilities. Our total number of actual functional requirements was over 350 specific functions that we asked the vendors about, as well as a dozen other things ranging from their company history, how they would perform data integration, their security, and so on. Once we developed and issued that, we did issue it as an open RFP to get the broadest range of respondents. We did receive 3 responses. 3 were unworkable as they did not complete all requirements of the RFP, and the 3 that were viable were brought in for vendor presentations. Those vendors were then scored by an RFP scoring committee. Every member of the committee did score independently. Those independent scores were aggregated, and as a result, we did then select the highest scoring vendor to enter into negotiations. As you can see here, and this is a little bit of a detailed slide, we did list all of the folks who were on that contract negotiation team. The Sheriff's Department, working with IT, partnered with the Department of Law to negotiate with the vendor, who is Executive Information Systems. And of course, Executive Information Systems is an independent business unit of Harris Computer Systems, so they were also involved. Because of this, and because the county does have a history with Harris, we did engage Calfee, Halter, and Griswold LLP. An attorney, Dan McMullen, joined us. He had experience assisting the county with Harris in some of our previous interactions, so we brought him on to assist us in these negotiations to make sure that we crafted the strongest possible contract to the benefit of the county. The recommendation, I think I spoiled it on the prior one, was Executive Information Systems. They did win according to the scoring, and after the vendor presentations. The reason why we did choose them, they did meet our functional and technical requirements, as well as providing the full system implementation, integration, and data conversion. It included 19 or more integrations, comprehensive user training, and this is every individual being trained, not the trainer that you would typically see, as well as ongoing 24/7 support for the solution. As you know, our jail works all year, all day. Their staff that they provide is 100% has law enforcement experience, and they have a long tenure. EIS itself has been in the business for over 45 years, and they're used in several other large jail systems, including Charleston, South Carolina, Kent County, Georgia, and I believe this is Clark County. One of the more recent ones that they're currently implementing is in Hamilton County here, down by Cincinnati in Ohio, and they are currently implementing down there. Next to that, you can see the relationship of EIS to Harris, which is, of course, a part of the overarching Constellation Software, which is a global holding company.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
to the chair, so you have, these individuals are from Florida. Where were the other 2 bidders from? Were any in Cuyahoga County?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Through the chair to the councilwoman, no, ma'am. Nope, I went one too far. Go back. All right. So what does it include? What is in your contract? The EIS solution includes the JMS application itself, of course, the core of the system. It has a number of integrated dashboards. We liken that to sort of what you would see in a hospital. This has been a very common request as we talk about our central booking and release processes, where we can see where our residents are in the process as they come to the booking window, as they go through property, as they go through scanning, as they go through medical. This will allow us to monitor that in real time. We have booking and release workflow management tools that are included in this solution. This allows us to very specifically control those workflows and put in validation checks and gates to ensure that things are happening as they should be. We are also incorporating our inmate classification process into the new solution. Currently, this is a paper process, so this not only provides efficiencies, it provides auditability and traceability, as well as reporting capabilities for us. As you saw a little preview when I went one slide too far, we have a public access portal. We also have a law enforcement access portal, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then we have pre-booking and mobile jail management. The pre-booking is a tool that would be used by our municipal partners where they could give them permission, and if they desired to use the tool, would be able to put their information into the pre-booking tool. So when they pull into the jail and bring their arrestee to the booking window, that corrections officer can pull that data. They can then validate it at the booking window, creating efficiencies for all parties. Of course, a core part of the solution overall is our integration with our justice services stakeholders, including Metro Health, the courts, the prosecutor, Vine, and more. And we have a list of those. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That includes Cleveland Court, right?
Through the chair to-
These systems now will integrate with City of Cleveland system, that we had different ones to determine when people are leaving and when they're not. So this is going to help integrate all that, right?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, that is our intention. Obviously, any sort of integration is going to be contingent upon the other side as well. So we have it in this proposal to do that. Yes, we have accounted for that.
Do we know through the chair if their system's compatible?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, we have some reservations on what we can integrate with. We believe we can do scheduling, which is the primary concern. There are some questions about the extent to which we would do that. We will have to sit down with them once this is approved to do that design to understand. We know that they're going through some changes with some of their systems right now, so.
Okay, thank you. And in terms of the pre-booking, what's happening now when a municipality police officer brings in a arrestee and turning it over to our system? What, is that on paper? Like, how does that happen now for booking?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, I don't know, Associate Warren O'Donnell, I don't know if you want to assist with this. I think it's a combination in terms of when they bring folks in from various locations. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, good afternoon, Associate Warden Kevin O'Donnell. Majority of the folks that come in is done by paperwork. Each one of the municipalities have their own way of doing business, and each arrestee would be presented with that paperwork from that municipality. We have the capabilities of viewing some of the Cleveland arrests coming in because of utilizing their LERM system, or now Motorola, which we could see if they arrest an individual on the street and that information is added into that database, we'll be able to see it by sitting at our desk at the county jail.
Okay, thanks. Hopefully that LERM system is the one I was concerned about too, which has not been compatible with us. Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So I understand it. So integration with the justice stakeholders, you have Metro Health, the courts, prosecutor. Are they going to have to get software in order for this to integrate with them, or how would that work?
To the chair, no, we do not expect that they would have to get software unless they desired to. What would need to happen is their software would need to be able to produce either the data extracts or have some sort of technical connection that we could make between our system and theirs. So there's a couple different routes we can take until we can actually engage with them and do the design with the vendor. We don't necessarily know what path that will be. So, but there's multiple paths that can potentially do that.
Okay, thank you.
One more question if I can through the chair. So when we have contracts with the stakeholders, the justice stakeholders, or do we just transact business without a contract? When we bring people in, Cleveland system, I know we have a jail contract with City of Cleveland, but going forward, should we consider having any kind of requirement that there's compatibility on some level to protect us? Do we have contracts with the municipalities and the stakeholders, including Metro?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, my understanding, and again, I'm not sure if Associate Warden O'Donnell can confirm this or not, but my understanding is anytime that we have a data sharing, there's an MOU that governs it.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just watch this and make sure that who our partners are need to get up to speed to some level so this is effective. We're putting the money into the system and want to make sure that it's going to work.
Okay. All right, continue. Thank you.
Lastly, on this slide, I do want to point out that part of this solution does include an entire warrant servicing module. This is a vast improvement for the Sheriff's Department for both the jail and the law enforcement side. It does permit for the lookup directly through the jail management system during the booking and release process to looking for any wants or holds. It also provides a portal for the service management, and it is directly integrated with leads, something that we cannot do right now. So the next two slides are two of the things I am most excited about, just based on the feedback that I've heard over the last 2 years working on this project. The first is the jail public web viewer. We can provide a soft copy of this that is a live link that is to the Kent County Sheriff's Office web jail viewer. The next slide will show a picture of what something might look like. It is public facing. It allows us to select resident information that we want to present, whether it's mugshot charges, bond information. It is our discretion what we put on there. And essentially, if we were to click that link, you can go on there, you can put a name in. Let's say I put in Smith. It will list all the Smiths. I can select it, and it will display that information. So it's a really useful tool and assists us in continuing to go and expand our transparency for the jail residents. On the same vein, we have what is called the law enforcement web viewer. Now, the difference between these two is the level of detail. There's going to be information in the law enforcement portal, which is a secure portal. They do have to be registered with the Sheriff's Department. They do have to sign an agreement with the Sheriff's Department to use it. It is not open to any law enforcement, but it does allow them to see more of the criminal history. It is a very useful tool. We currently have several partners that use our current system in this way. Through relationships with the Sheriff's Department, but it assists them as well in their process. And again, what is exposed is determined by the Sheriff's Department. In terms of the integrations, we've talked about them a few times. These are just the core ones. There's some smaller ones like Social Security Administration that we did not put on this slide, but the material ones that we integrate are listed on this slide. A couple that we haven't mentioned yet. You see, we did talk about Cleveland Municipal Court, the Cleveland Police Department and their new Motorola P1 system, County Prosecutor, Court of Common Pleas, APHIS, the Fusion Center, as well as our commissary system and our visitation and phone system, being able to make sure that those privileges or restrictions, as well as the rosters, are updated regularly so they are able to get those amenities as determined. So in terms of the integrations, one of the things that we have done is we have started to meet with the stakeholders from the prosecutor, from Common Pleas, from Cleveland, to start those discussions even as we're going through this approval process.
So is any of this going to tie into the tablets that the residents have?
So the system itself does not, because this is really a functional system for the corrections officers. However, with something like the Securus Visitation, that's a privilege that they're allowed to use those tablets for some of those phone calls or video calls. And so those privileges, that integration with Securus, when we transmit that roster periodically, it will indicate what their privilege is. So they'll be able to manage that directly through the jail management system, and it will go straight to Securus and support their ability to have those privileges. Yes, ma'am.
So with these tablets through the chair, do you know, are they going to have internet access? Can they download books? Like what's anticipated with regard to those tablets, if you know?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, I'm going to call on Associate Warden O'Donnell to talk about how they're utilizing tablets. I know there's a few things that they're doing or intending.
Hello, Associate Warden Kevin O'Donnell again. We currently have Securus as our tablet vendor, and they've been in process for couple of years now. So there's different applications that they could purchase. There's free applications as well. They use it as like text messaging and instant messaging and things like that. along with the, as it relates to the new EIS system, it's gonna be two separate systems. The JMS is gonna be a security privileged operation. The Securus piece will be separate. We'll be able to communicate with Keith, the vendor, but that will be only to receive information, say a diet restriction or disciplinary issues that we would communicate to them or they would communicate to us.
Do you know whether the tablets in general, they've been in use, you said, for a couple years, can they download books? Can they read? Is that just a normal, basic function?
I know there's music. I do believe that there may be books. I'm not.
Can you
100%
find
sure.
out?
Absolutely.
Because I wanted to enhance the library with physical books, and then they're like, no, we're moving into these tablets. So just want to make sure that
We do
that's
constantly
easily,
receive
okay.
donated books from even the courts and other entities.
You don't have books anymore, right? Like hardback or regular books?
do take-
You still,
We do on occasion take donated books.
you have still a space for that?
Yes.
Is it overloaded with books?
No.
No?
There's always a need.
You could always use some books?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. Now the hard part.
Now the hard part. That's right, that's right. So we broke it down. Chris gave you the grand total, but we broke it down a little bit. The first line is our perpetual site license and implementation. That's basically what it costs to install it. The question has come up a couple times, so I want to point out that this is a perpetual license, which means we pay for it once, and then it is ours. It's not annually renewed, one time. It is a site license, which means it is for the sheriff's department, for the correctional facility. Whether I have 10 corrections officers using it or 100 corrections officers using it, whether I have 5 inmates or 50 inmates, it's the same price. So that leads us to a lot of flexibility. The maintenance and support, the 1.5 million, that is over the full 5 years. We're assuming things will go spectacularly, and we will want to extend the contract to its full 5 years using the optional renewal periods. And then additionally, a part of this contract, it's a separate agreement. We are having the vendor provide managed hosting on their Azure Government Cloud. And we're doing this so that they can provide the 24-hour support.
Okay.
Just for convenience sake, we did also, for those annual renewals, the annual maintenance and support, the annual hosting subscription, we did break those down into the annual average cost for years 2 through 5 below. One thing that we're very happy to say is that we were able to work with the vendor and establish very strong service level agreements. So in other words, we established, if we have an issue, how are we going to triage that? What are our priorities? And what is the expected time frame for you to respond? And what is the expected time frame for you to be able to provide us a plan to cure this issue? And based upon those service level agreements, if they were to breach those, maybe they don't respond, maybe they cannot provide us a plan to cure whatever is our issue, there are economic penalties associated with that. So to ensure that we all have a stake in making sure we have the highest level of service and that we are able to utilize the system to its fullest.
So I have a question. So this, from Florida, correct? The company is from Florida?
Sir?
Is there going to be an office in the area of Cuyahoga County?
Through the chair, we do have the vendor representative here, Mr. Adam Missler. I don't know, do you have an office nearby? We do not. Okay.
You intend
I did
to
not think so.
step up, please?
I believe you'll need to say your name for the record.
Please give us your name and the company.
Sure. I'm Adam Missler with Executive Information Services. We do not plan on opening an office here in the county. Due to the nature of the application and the services we provide, we can actually provide direct 7x24 immediate support from pretty much anywhere in the world, as long as our staff can communicate with the internet.
Okay, so it'll all be done over the internet?
It will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Not from him, but through the chair to Ms. Fienza, is this price tag in the budget now?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, yes, it is.
Sheriff's budget or?
I'm going to call Chris Costin back up.
Hello, yes, so we have two budget line items. Currently, the way OBM set up our accounts, we have one in our sheriff's jail operations budget, and they set up a sheriff's capital budget. And right now, we have, for the first 2 years, we have set aside $2.4 million. Now, this schedule that I believe is being presented is a very aggressive schedule. It's all based on milestones. I don't know if they'll hit every milestone. I mean, we hope they will, but we don't know if they will. We don't know if they will. If they don't, we push back our funding for future years. But as of now, we got 2.489 set up in our budget for the next 2 years. The first year is at 1.559.
Okay, so that's what you put into the budget.
That is what's in the budget now,
Okay,
yes.
so the total is almost 4 million?
The total contract price is, almost 4 million, but again, that's over 5 years. The term right now is set up for 3 years with 2 additional 1-year options. So the price of 3 years is gonna be just over $3 million. And that's from execution. But again, milestones, right now they're set up, there's 3 months, we're gonna make a payment. Maybe 10 months down the road, we'll make a payment, 12 months. It all depends on the milestones achieved.
So if you have 2.489 going in for 2 times, that's a little over what the contract. So money will be returned
So
after the 5
we
years?
have, this is just the 2 year. The first year, we have 1.5 set up. Second year, we have 929 set up for a total of 2.4.
But the total, over the 5-year period, it's going to be 3.9.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm
Correct.
saying. So it looks like even with your 2 years of putting in, you're going to be over the price for the total contract, even if it goes to 5 years.
Well, the third year payment option, we're only gonna make $412,000. Fourth year, we only have a payment due of $440,000. The fifth year before 71. So the total contract price is just under 4. We have 2.4 set up right now. We may need more if they hit all the milestones within the first 2 years, first 3 years. We will be coming back. Again, like was presented before, budgets, and it's variables. This one's based on milestones. So right now, it's only 2.4. Total contract is 4.
Okay,
So we're short right now. And then the additional fourth and fifth year, you had just over $440,000 a year.
apologize through the chair, so I misunderstood you, because you said jail operations was 2.4 and then jail capital was 2.4.
We broke them up between the two. I'm sorry if I misled you. Jail operations has 1.5.
Okay.
And then jail operations first year has 866,000. Sheriff capital has 693,000. Jail operations for the second year has 929,000.
Okay, that makes a big difference. You see where
I'm
I
sorry,
got that?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's finish up here.
Absolutely. All right, so Chris did speak about a few things about our project details. The expected timeline is 12 to 16 months, with a kickoff starting in January of 2026. We do plan on establishing a steering committee. As you saw, we have a number of integrations, we have a number of stakeholders. We want to have great governance on this, so we will be setting up a steering committee to ensure that we have that oversight. That will be done with the jail administration. Chris had mentioned some milestones. We have a very detailed SOW that has success criteria for every deliverable. 51 independent deliverables are identified. Over half of those require explicit written approval from the sheriff's department for acceptance before they are contributed to the milestones that trigger payments. So we did write into the statement of work very explicit success criteria to make sure that before we are issuing payments that we have received the services that are written into that statement. We do expect that we will have heavy stakeholder involvement from the Sheriff's Department. As you can see, we've partnered together to execute this RFP and to come here today, as well as subject matter expertise from wherever we need it, quite frankly, but largely from the Sheriff's Department and IT. The target launch, if everything goes to plan, will be the second quarter of 2027. So I'll pause there before I talk about implications for the new jail to see if there's questions.
Go ahead.
So as far as the implications for the new jail, as I discussed, it is hosted on the Azure Government Cloud, which means there's no physical servers to move. And the nice thing about this solution is that it does allow for multiple facilities for our site. So we can have the downtown jail, which is what we will implement. But as soon as we're done with that, we can build out within our solution a whole nother facility that would be our Garfield jail or whatever we choose to call it. Similarly, like we would establish another pod or another room. And therefore, when we start moving to the new jail, we are simply reassigning the location. On top of that, as a part of this, and we had some additional demos as we started our planning for the new jail, there is a comprehensive transportation module that is also included in the solution that will help support getting our residents to and from court, medical appointments, and all of that, while helping to understand, how are we going to triage who's getting on what bus and managing the transportation, which right now is a little bit simpler than it will be in the future. So all of those were taken into consideration and are also a part of this solution.
Okay. So, a couple questions. So the IMAX that's being used now, when did that first come around?
That was purchased in 2001, installed in 2003.
2003.
Correct.
And was it ever updated?
Last update was in 2013. I thought we had had an update in 2016. That is incorrect. The very last time it was updated was in 2013.
And this is not going to be able to be used anymore? I take it.
It will not be able to be used anymore. We are currently doing a lot of mitigation strategies, putting a lot of extra man hours into making sure that it's able to be functional currently. So it will be a clean cut, ending that one and beginning a new one.
So the vendor is going to do the data conversion?
That is correct. As a part of the contract, we have detailed out our data conversion strategy. It is also one of the deliverables in the statement of work. There will be at least 3 iterations of the data conversion, and it starts from the very beginning. So as we're installing the solution, we're working with our own data. The county team is already invested, so we're already looking at it, making sure that that's done correctly, and then we'll have 2 additional rounds to clean up and practice that process so that we have a successful cutover when we go live.
So I also heard you say about every employee to be trained. How many employees is that?
We have budgeted for 400 employees of the correction center to be trained, which is, we believe, will cover all of the active corrections in the system.
Each employee will be trained individually
That is correct.
by the vendor?
Correct.
What I would ask is if we could get quarterly updates of both the timeline and the budget as you're moving along.
To the chair, absolutely, we'd be happy to do so.
I've got nothing else. Anybody? Vice President?
So on that, through the chair, on that last line of questioning, budget, 400 personnel, the training that training is included in this dollar amount too?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, just making sure. Will the IMAX last, you said it's on its last leg, will it last until this new one is up and running?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, I believe that it will. I have specialists on my team who have worked with the system since it was installed, and they are very knowledgeable and have many tricks up their sleeve to help make sure that we're able to keep it functional. But we will be working very aggressively to get the new system up as soon as possible.
Okay, so today you'll be asking for second reading suspension? Or,
I
well, it's
don't
not no
know
vote, it's
those rules.
presentation, but. They're moving the
Sorry.
money.
So are we going 3 readings on this?
Yes, we should be able to go 3 readings on this.
Okay, that's great. I appreciate that.
Mr. Chair, just a couple more questions. Will the, okay, on your jail public web viewer page, which municipalities utilize this and do the cities pay?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, you're talking about the public access
Right,
web?
the jail public web viewer.
That is a solution that the public access will be public-facing. It'll be a product of the sheriff's department, so anybody, anywhere can use it.
So you said municipalities used it. I just was wondering, was there a cost attached to that?
Oh, through the chair of the councilwoman, that would be the law enforcement viewer, and there are other entities that use it. I would have to look to see who does it. I know we have prosecutor's office employees that are able to access IMAX, as do courts. Some judges access IMAX. I believe we do have some municipal partners that access it. I believe Cleveland for sure. I know of a few people I can think of off the top of my head that do. I don't know about others. I'd have to ask,
Can
and I
you
can get
find out
that.
if they pay us to use it?
They do not.
They do not, okay. On your, last question, through the chair, on your EIS JMS overview page, will, where you talked about the EIS solution, will efficiencies, that you talked about give us any cost savings?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, I believe so, by simply eliminating several manual steps as well as providing workflow structure to it, to where we can provide alerts, we can provide guidance in terms of next steps and visibility. So I do believe that there will be moderate savings in terms of personnel efficiency.
But don't know that cost.
I have not done a study to evaluate what that might be.
Plus, you're not going to have to purchase any additional licenses for this, right?
To the chair, that is correct.
Whenever you know, let us know.
To the chair, councilman, I absolutely will.
Are there any other questions? Any questions, sir? All right, at this time, I'd make a motion to move this forward to full council for 3 readings. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you very
Great
much.
presentation, I appreciate it, thank you. Any other business? No? You can't hear me? And there's no miscellaneous business, correct?